From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, first at 4.
Imagine getting your water bill and seeing you owe more than $5,000. It happened to someone in Augusta. Others tell us their bills are hundreds of dollars more than usual. But first, we're preparing for a first alert weather day tomorrow with the chance of strong storms that could come in waves. We'll send things straight over to first alert meteorologist Anthony Carpino. Anthony, what should we be expecting tomorrow?
Yeah, so like you said, Zainab, this is going to be coming in a couple rounds. First, starting into the morning, so the morning hours, mainly just seeing some light to moderate showers. We do have that alert date for the entire CSRA starting right around 10 a.m. and lasting through about 10 p.m. Now, we will have a secondary wave that's going to be coming later on into the afternoon. That has the potential for more of those stronger to severe storms between, as we go through about 5 to about 9 o'clock. So right around dinner time, lasting a little bit past dinner time, that's when you can expect that second round of storms and maybe even another round of showers as we get closer to midnight as the actual cold front makes its way closer to our region. So as far as the risks go across the CSRA, most of us are in a level 2 slight risk with the exception of Emmanuel County. Half of, or the southern portion of Emmanuel County is in an enhanced risk. Now, the greatest risk overall is going to be higher winds. There is still a chance for a few isolated tornadoes, some large hail, and with all of the amount of rain that we're going to be seeing in a short period of time, the chance for some flooding isn't out of the question. Much more on that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Dana, we'll send things back to you.
Thanks for that, Anthony. We could be hours away from finding out whether the Johnson & Johnson vaccinations will resume in the U.S. after reports of rare blood clots. A federal panel made up of independent health experts is currently meeting to talk about it right now. Deborah Alfarone is outside the FDA with more.
Soon, a CDC advisory committee could vote on whether to resume the use of the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Janssen fully supports the public health recommendations from regulatory agencies and medical societies to create general public awareness.
Pause was initiated last week after 6 reports of rare and severe blood clots. One case resulted in the death of a 45-year-old Virginia woman. During Friday's meeting, panel experts heard about more possible cases, including one Oregon woman in her 50s who died.
Vast majority of patients have a headache. More severely affected patients can have seizures.
FDA officials say they'll continue working with the CDC to monitor the vaccine for more cases and update the guidance as more information comes to light. Vaccine eligibility in the U.S. was expanded to all adults 16 and older. And now the CDC recommends pregnant women get Pfizer or Moderna vaccines after publishing a study in the New England Journal of Medicine.
No safety concerns were observed for people vaccinated in the 3rd trimester or safety concerns for their babies.
Administration health officials are also launching a new social media campaign to combat vaccine hesitancy, pairing doctors and scientists with celebrities and professional athletes. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Silver Spring, Maryland.
AU Health reducing their COVID testing hours due to lack of demand. Instead, they're able to redirect staff to areas they're needed, more like vaccination clinics. Health officials say even as the demand for testing does go down, hospitalizations are going up, though not as much as they have during previous peaks. None of those patients in the hospital have been vaccinated, which health officials say is a sign the vaccine is highly effective.
We can prevent testing, the need for testing, and we can prevent people from getting sick by getting them vaccinated. So we're really trying to make sure that we balance those out and support the vaccination effort, but then still meeting the necessary needs for drive-up testing.
All 8 state-run mass vaccination sites in Georgia are set to close next month, and that includes the one in Washington County. Contracts for those sites expire May 21st, and Georgia Emergency Management says they're not planning on renewing them. Well, hundreds of you taking to Facebook wondering why your water bill has shot up recently. One woman was hit with a $5,000 bill. The utilities department saying she used more than 1.2 million gallons of water this past month. Our Sydney Heiberger spent today trying to get you some answers. Sydney?
Right. Thankfully, Zaina, that problem was resolved this morning at the Augusta Utilities Department. I'm told it was human error, but still, people have been sending me bills today, hundreds of dollars more than what they usually pay. They say something just doesn't add up. I spoke to the Augusta Utilities Department, who says as the weather gets warmer and people go outside to garden or water their grass, bills do tend to increase. Plus, you would think with everyone being home during the pandemic, residential water bills would also go up. But actually, the department tells me average residential water use actually decreased 7% in 2020 compared to 2019. Still, people like Cassandra Lofton say they haven't changed any of their habits and they don't think that they have a leak. She was hit with a $300 bill this month.
It's frustrating. I mean, we're in a pandemic and that's not fair to take advantage of people. And it's not just me. There are hundreds of people that are having the same issues in Augusta.
Now, Augusta Utilities says as far as they know, they haven't had any kind of system glitch that would cause bills to go up. So tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're going to tell you what they want people to do if they think there's something wrong with their bill. Zaina?
Thanks for that update, Sydney. New this afternoon, we're learning the sentencing date for former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. He's scheduled to be sentenced on June 16th. This announcement comes 3 days after a jury found Chauvin guilty on all charges of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Chauvin's attorneys will have 60 days to appeal the outcome. A local World War II soldier who died in the attacks on Pearl Harbor has been accounted for nearly 80 years later. 24-year-old William Blanchard from Wilkes County was on the USS Oklahoma when it was attacked back in 1941. He died along with more than 400 of the ship's crewmen. Blanchard was buried in the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific in Hawaii. Back in 2015, scientists began analyzing and identifying soldiers' remains, and Blanchard was accounted for in January this year. He's going to be buried in North Carolina in June. We're learning today President Joe Biden is coming to Georgia next week. The president and the first lady will both be in Atlanta on Thursday. They haven't released what they're going to be doing on their visit just yet. His last trip to Georgia was in mid-March. Today, the president is closing out the two-day climate summit he hosted. 40 global leaders attending virtually. The president highlighted the financial and economic benefits of green climate future. He pointed to the pandemic as a way that countries around the world work together, saying that kind of collaboration to fight climate change could benefit everyone.
Here in America, there's never been a challenge we couldn't meet if we put our minds to it and did it together. I hope your countries feel the same way. I know we can do this. I know we can do this.
President Biden pledging to reduce carbon emissions in areas like agriculture and power. Well, we know a lot of you are working on spring gardening projects, and this weekend you'll have a chance to stock up on supplies. We're sponsoring free admission to the 16th Annual Home and Garden Show. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hill is live right now at the James Brown Arena. And Riley, what's it looking like out there right now?
Hey, Zeta, a great atmosphere out here this year. I want to say it is great to see people out and about enjoying the 16th Annual Home and Garden Show. Now, there's a bunch of great vendors out here, over 100. And, of course, it's a home and garden show, so if you want to maybe do a new bathroom, they got that option for you. But the cool thing about this show, there's a bunch of other stuff as well. How about these hummingbird feeders? This is the best hummingbird feeder money can buy right here. So there's a bunch of knick-knack stuff as well. Going back here, you can see a couple of different local businesses, and that's the big thing about the Home and Garden Show, is that these are local businesses. They need our local dollars, and most of the revenue for the year, the large percentage of it comes from these type of shows. Now, the good thing is about this year is that it is free admission, so you don't have to pay anything to get in, and it is open through the weekend. Saturday, they're going to open at 10 a.m. going until 6 p.m., then on Sunday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. So if you can't make it out here for the rest of today, they're open until 6 tonight, but once again for the weekend, staying open. A ton of great stuff out here, so come out to the James Brown Arena and check it out.
Thanks, Riley. A lot going on right there and a great way to support our local businesses. Thanks for that live update. The show, again, like Riley was saying, does run through Sunday, so you can head out there sometime this weekend. Still ahead, a group of Florida students built their own plane but didn't stop there. When we get back, how their plane is paving the way for making aviation more accessible.
And we're going to be breaking down the chance for some severe storms as we go through tomorrow afternoon. We'll have all the details coming up in just a few minutes.
A 4-month I-Team investigation uncovers a local county is close to being flat broke.
There's definitely something not right.
We find books and bank accounts that don't add up. An I-Team investigation Monday on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
You want to upgrade your
Nature.
Okay, check this out. It's not a UFO, but if you saw a bright streak in the sky this morning, you aren't alone. A lot of people did. We collected more than 20 videos from you from multiple counties. And in the videos, you can see a SpaceX rocket after it launched from the Kennedy Space Station in Florida. It's carrying 4 astronauts who are headed to the International Space Station. They're going to stay up there for 6 months.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Pretty cool right there, seeing it take off. This launch marks the 3rd ever crew flight for SpaceX. The 4 astronauts are from 3 different countries. They got to spend some time on the beach yesterday before heading to suit up just after midnight. The rocket is expected to dock early tomorrow morning, so pretty neat stuff happening in space. We're going to be sure to keep following all of that good stuff. Meanwhile, NASA is building its most powerful rocket ever to take astronauts to the moon. This time lapse is over the course of 2 months. Workers are putting together their rockets, twin solid fuel boosters. Each are 177 feet tall and weigh more than 1 million pounds. Once completed, they're going to attach to the central rocket. It's expected to begin carrying people to the moon in 2023. So we do have to wait a while to see that. But hey, cool stuff coming ahead.
Absolutely.
Well, Anthony, we've been talking about this first alert weather happening tomorrow. When can we expect to see these storms roll in?
Yeah, Zana, so we're going to break these down into a couple different time periods. So as we go through the day tomorrow, we're going to start off with some showers for the morning as well as for the afternoon, evening hours, and then the cold front will finally push through as we get closer to midnight and going into early Sunday morning. So for your Saturday, we do have a first alert weather day for the entire region starting at 10 a.m. and going through about 10 p.m. So this is going to last the entire day. With those risks, we do have the chance for a few isolated tornadoes, gusty winds, as well as some heavy rain. We're going to be getting all that rainfall within a 24-hour period. So if you're in a spot that usually floods pretty easily, some isolated flash flooding isn't going to be out of the question as well. So let's break down some of the risks out there. Of course, everyone wants to know about the tornado potential, and this luckily is on the lower side to threats that we've seen in the past. So if you live in some of our northern communities, the tornado risk is going to be on the lower side, about a 2%. That tends to increase as you go to our southern counties and in just past I-16 between Macon and I-10 going towards Florida. That's going to be the greatest potential for them. For us here, most of our areas, including us here in Augusta, are right around that 5% mark. Now, we're also going to be talking about some gusty winds, about a 15% chance at that for us here, and a majority of us in the CS area. That 30% risk just grazing portions of Emmanuel County, so just be aware that the greatest potential out of all of this is going to be those gusty winds. We could see winds gusting anywhere from about 60 to 65 miles per hour. We also can't rule out the chance for some larger hail as well. Now, the biggest uncertainty with this is some of our upper level winds. Now, this is really what drives this entire system. If the winds don't really form, and if they're not as strong, they're not going to lift a lot of that moisture, a lot of that unstable air from the Gulf of Mexico into our region, which is good news. We don't want to see any of those damaging winds here in our area, but if they do become on the stronger side, that's going to increase our chances for some more of that severe weather as we go through tomorrow afternoon. So this is something that we're going to keep an eye on as we go through this evening as well as through the day tomorrow. So let's break this down hour by hour, really talking about when we can expect the rainfall to start. Right around 8 o'clock in the morning, that's when we can see this begin. Now, I'm thinking we're going to start off the morning with some cloud cover. That's going to get a good cap on the atmosphere, which means just plain old rain, and we shouldn't have to worry about any thunderstorms. As we go through the afternoon, we get a little bit more instability. The chance for some more thunderstorms will arrive as we get closer to midday, as well as through the afternoon. This is where we do have the chance for some stronger storms, but a second wave will arrive as we get closer to dinner time between about 5, 6 o'clock, lasting to about 8 o'clock. This is that greatest chance for some of those severe storms. You can see some of those, a little bit of those pockets that are forming there. That's where we can see some of those individual cells start to form, and that's where we have some of those most severe risks. That continues to move out as we get closer to 8 o'clock in the evening. That's when most of us should stay on the drier side, although we can't rule out as that actual cold front moves in through the day on early Sunday morning, rather. That's where we can see just another chance for some more showers. But through the day on Sunday is actually looking a lot brighter, a lot more sunshine. Temperatures going to be warming up to about 80 degrees, 82 on Monday, and then we're going to continue to warm things up, staying on the drier side Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs on Wednesday right around 87.
An inspiring story out of Florida where 3 teenagers not only built an airplane but also customized it so people in wheelchairs can fly on their own. Robert Boyd shows us what they accomplished.
When Landon, Nathan, and Andrew started working on this Zenith 750 cruiser, it came as a kit with a box full of parts and detailed instructions.
I knew nothing about airplanes, and I saw this club and I'm like, building an airplane. I thought it was interesting.
But if the task of building a plane wasn't challenging enough, the students at Central Florida Aerospace Academy decided to make their own alterations.
And it has been modified to be able to be flown without the use of your legs.
Advisor Andy Ovens wasn't about to question their dedication to make something really special.
We're sitting there as a team, we're sitting there thinking about it, and you have to think like somebody who has a disability.
So the students started rewriting the directions and making their own parts on campus.
Sometimes we made 3 or 4 pieces of garbage before we made a beautiful part that made it into the airplane.
This plane allows you to just use your hands. You don't need to have the controls of your feet. There's no rudder pedals for you to use. It's all in your hands.
Forward would be right rudder and back would be left rudder.
The design has captured the imagination of even the most experienced aviators.
And now other people, even in the builder community, are like, hey, can you make me one?
The plane is scheduled to be put into circulation at the Academy's Flying Club later this spring, where it will be available to use by anyone in the community.
And so people with those disabilities can enjoy flight time just like everyone else. I never thought it could be a thing, and now it is. And I just feel really honored to be part of that.
It's been an experience that'll change people's lives, including my own.
The students spent 2 years building the plane. They were finally able to show it off last week at the Sun and Fun Air Show in Lakeland. But congratulations to them to create something at such a young age, and that's helpful to many people. Well, still ahead, it's grad season, and new graduates are trying to find jobs in a tough market. How to give your grad a gift that'll help ease the transition when we get back. Graduation ceremonies are just a few weeks away for college seniors, and they're facing one of the worst job markets in decades. Check this out. If you have the soon-to-be graduate on your shopping list, Jamie Tucker shows us some tech gifts to inspire and even help them find a job.
This year's college graduates are competing with last year's college graduates who couldn't find a job due to the pandemic. If you really want your gift this year to go a long way, get them a job board. FlexJobs is a website used by small businesses and large corporations to find freelancers for all types of work. Most are remote positions, allowing graduates to work from anywhere. Jobs in accounting, marketing, legal, teaching. Many are full-time positions with benefits and paid vacations. Openings are easy to search for. FlexJobs will even review and improve their resume. A gift certificate for a full year of FlexJobs is $50 right now. Just because they're out of school doesn't mean they want to stop learning. Masterclass is a subscription app featuring video classes from some of the world's most successful people. A one-year subscription of these video classes is $180. If they're moving out of a dorm or a school apartment, they may need a good Wi-Fi router. To provide enough bandwidth for a small apartment, a router costs around $75. Just future-proof your gift by picking one of the latest Wi-Fi 6 routers. These smart plugs control anything using Alexa or Hey Google to turn on my porch lights. They're best for lights or lamps. These Sylvania smart Wi-Fi plugs are $30 for 4. Headphones can really be expensive, but these from Soundcore are around $70. They have active noise canceling and high-resolution sound. Our wireless earbuds are great, but over-the-ear headphones are much more comfortable if you're going to be wearing them for a while. And I have more gift ideas for grads, moms, and dads on my blog, whatthetech.tv. That is What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Jamie is just always so helpful. The good news for this year's graduates is that companies are planning to hire 7% more recent graduates this year compared to last year. Anthony?
Well, as we continue on through the day tomorrow, especially the afternoon, we are going to be watching the chance for some strong to severe storms. One more look at that forecast coming up.
Is your wife hot? Then it's probably time to fix her AC. Cool Rate Mechanical can handle the heat. Call 803-613-1080 for trusted, professional service 24/7 with repairs and installations performed by certified technicians. It's service you can trust with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Cool Ray Mechanical, proudly servicing the CSRA since 1999. Call or visit online today for your free estimate and beat the heat with Cool Ray, your local Reed Pro partner.
Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
Alrighty, here's a look at your community calendar going on this weekend. We have the Evans Market. That's 9 to 1 o'clock tomorrow at the Evans Town Center. There will be producers, artists, and small businesses. Now, we do have the chance for some strong storms tomorrow, so if it doesn't shape up to be the best conditions, you can check them out next weekend as well. Let's talk about what we're going to see as we go through the day tomorrow, where we are expecting the chance for some strong to severe storms in the afternoon. So we do have a level 2 slight risk for a majority of the CSRA. Southern portions of Emmanuel County, you are included under that enhanced risk from the Storm Prediction Center, so we will watch this as we go through this evening as well as through the day tomorrow. The greatest risk for tomorrow being the chance for some gusty winds, but really associated with everything out there. Chance for a few isolated tornadoes, some large hail, and even some isolated flash flooding. So as we continue on through this evening, we will stay dry. Clouds will stay with us as we go through this evening in through tomorrow morning, but we will watch a chance for some more showers to develop as that front moves on through. For tomorrow afternoon, we will keep that in mind as we get through about 5, 6 o'clock. This is where we'll have the greatest potential for some more storms as we go through the afternoon and evening. So keep an eye on that over the next couple of days. Expecting rain totals anywhere from a couple inches, maybe 1 to 2 inches for a majority of the CSRA. And the red area, that indicates some more rain. We'll have much more on the forecast and more news coming up in just a few minutes.
Hello, I'm Ricky Willis